great day to be a Boilermaker. From women's basketball having a huge upset, which I was able to follow on Twitter, to our basketball playing at a high level, volleyball playing at a high level. The pressure was on us to come through. So, our guys played hard. It was a big win. I thought we won in a pretty convincing fashion. We challenged our guys to come out and win the second half and play better, because I just thought we were a little sloppy on some things in the first half, and we did. And, so really proud of our guys for the effort they gave us all year. Winning this conference, as you can tell by the scores today, there's just a ton of parity, and you've got to do a lot of the small things right in order to have a chance. So I just think some improvements we made on offense during the year went on helped us. Without question, improvements we made in the offseason on our defense has helped us. And I think even though special teams has had its moments here and there, we've gotten better as the year went on, and it helped us, even just from the kicking standpoint. So all those little things go into it. Playing disciplined football, staying focused, working as a coaching staff and players collaboratively to be able to point the fingers at ourselves and figure out ways to improve and get better has helped us. And it was good just to win the game tonight like we did. Our fans have been tremendous all year. We appreciate everything they've done. We're thankful for them showing up today and when it wasn't good weather, Thanksgiving weekend, and they've been through with us through thick and thin, so we're thankful for that. And we want to say thanks to all the fans, and it's just a really good way to end the regular season, and it just gives you a really good feeling inside, and I'm really proud and happy for our players and coaching staff.
Jeff, what's it mean to get that 8th regular season win, something this program hasn't had since 2006?
Well, it's an accomplishment without question, and I try not to count them, but in the back of my head I do. So, just trying to figure out ways to win is always a challenge. You're always nervous for every game that you got to make the right call, you got to execute, you got to do the small things, you got to play together, you got to win the turnover battle. All those things go into it, and you just got to be able to relax as a coach and player, and trust the work you put in, and go out there and cut it loose. So, getting to 8 wins is a big accomplishment, and we're very proud.
Your thoughts, Jeff, on this, I guess apparently being the last home game ever for George Karlaftis and David Bell?
You guys know those two guys are phenomenal players, outstanding people, represent this university in every manner that you want them to. They've given us great effort. They've played injured. Speaking of that, David Bell, just so you know, didn't practice all week because he is injured, and most guys wouldn't play. And I don't know, I came out and did what he did because there was, we got the news after the game that he may not be able to play. It was a little alarming, but he said he wanted to give it a try, and he did. So, George has played with a high ankle to a certain degree. A lot of guys have played nicked up, and that's football. But for those two guys to give us that type of effort and production and bring it every single week, we're, like I've always said, we're lucky to have them on our team. They wanted to stay in state and make a name for Purdue football, and for sure they did. And I think because of that, they have a very bright future, and they're going to be able to take care of their family and friends, and we couldn't be happy for them.
Mike, go ahead.
Jeff, go back to the off week after you lost to Minnesota. You made some changes offensively to try to get a running game going, but just, I guess, the overall tone that you set at that point to push this team forward to the place where it is right now.
Well, I think as you see now, Minnesota's a good football team, and in this conference, the margin for error is small. So if you're not executing at a high level on all 3 segments, you're not going to win. So you just got to figure out ways to get that done every week. So, we realized we weren't scoring the points we wanted, and we just kind of changed some things up, made some slight adjustments, tried to help get the quarterback in a rhythm, tried to tweak a few things here and there. That's one thing we're not scared, at least I know I'm not scared to try something new or change it slightly. I think our defense has continue to play hard. When we played really good teams, they move the ball up and down, but we hang in there and we challenge things, and they make some plays. And I just think our special teams too, has improved. And those things have to happen. And I just think we got a coaching staff that will work hard, that are good people, and I think our players were hungry this year and out to prove themselves. So, the credit goes to those guys.
Coach, I know we ask about Aiden O'Connell every week, it seems like now, but just his performance again today and just what he's meant to this team and this offense, down the stretch this season.
Well, I think not only the numbers speak for themselves, but the efficiency and the ability to run our offense at that level has been outstanding. And it's much harder to do than people think. And he hangs in there, he makes accurate throws, he distributes the ball. Our playmaker, he understands the system. He's unselfish. Like I've always said, he's a young man of great faith, so he believes in the right things in life. He has trust and confidence in himself. He understands that he puts the work in, and we put the work in together, good things can happen. So credit goes to him. He came in here unheralded and worked his tail off to get to this point, and play this at this level the last so many games is just a tremendous accomplishment.
Kind of to go off of that, I saw Mike's tweet about Aiden in his last 5 games, 15 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Can you talk about his growth and his progression the past few weeks to limit those turnovers?
Well, I'll talk some more about it for sure because I can talk about it all day long. Like I said, we've tried to build this thing around his strengths. So a few tweaks we've made, I think, have been beneficial. He understands, taking care of the football is very important, and he's a very accurate passer. So if we can space some things out and get him some guys open, he's going to hit them. And he just has really been good at throwing the ball in tight windows, knowing when not to throw it. Stands in there, makes throws, sees things, anticipates, spreads it around pretty daggone good the last few games. And he just works really hard. And like I said, this guy has come this far through some of our help, but it's a credit to him and his work ethic and what he's all about. And it's just a tremendous accomplishment. So like I said, I couldn't be prouder of him. I know his family is, and he's just a great young man.
Hey Jeff, 3-1. You're 3-1 against IU. Talk about what that means to the program, to recruiting, just everything you're trying to do here to have the upper hand against these guys.
Well, we have a lot of respect for Indiana and what they're trying to accomplish. Without question, today was our day, and we feel really good about it. And I just really believe in what we're doing, what we're all about. Anybody in state or the surrounding area that wants to come somewhere and be a difference maker and help Purdue become great and make a name for themselves and do some great things in state with their family and friends, a big part of it. And then with us trying to set them up for huge success after, that's what we like to do, and we think we're good at it. And if you look at Rondell Moore, David Bell, George Karlaftis, those guys are 3 guys that could have pretty much went anywhere, and they chose to come here, and they got more than a bright future. And that's not only in the game of football, but beyond. And I think the people around this state appreciate what they've done, what they've given, and I just think, anybody who wants to do something special can for sure do it here at Purdue, and myself and our coaches take pride in making sure that gets done.
After they had some success on their first possession, what specifically did your defense take away the rest of the game? It didn't seem like they were having as much success with those slants that they were getting early on.
Well, I think the first drive, we probably had 4 defensive penalties, and that without question hurt us. We did a couple things with our corners where they were just playing right and left, which we normally don't do because we were a little scared of tempo, which we shouldn't have. So we went back to playing boundary and field, which that's their normal spot. And a few combination of other things that we did, but I just think we had some costly penalties. I think 4 in that drive, maybe more, that hurt us. And like I said, the margin for error is slim. You can't do that. You got to play within the rules. Penalties can happen every now and then, but you can't do that on one drive. So I think once we cleaned that up, we had 1 or 2 later in the first half that weren't good as well. And that's why we wanted to play better in the second half. I just thought we could have played much better, more disciplined, with more focus on the small things. And I think when we cleaned that up, it made us much more efficient.
But just a clarification, when you said David Bell came off the field, you didn't know if he was going to play. Was that after last week's game against Northwestern, or was that another time?
No, he got injured last week's game on the last throw to the side when he slipped on the field. So when he's injured and he's playing. So credit to him for wanting to come out and play for his teammates.
But just what's next for the coaching staff now this coming week? Are you back to normal pre-COVID recruiting, or is there something else that's going to happen in the next couple of weeks?
Well, I'm going to take a couple naps because I'm pretty tired. Thanksgiving, I probably wasn't as festive as I should. I think I took 2 naps. So, this season will wear you out, but that's football, and you got to work through it, and you got to give it everything you got, and you got to be able to look in the mirror and say, okay, now I can rest. So, but in all honesty, you know what? We hit the road tomorrow recruiting, and we're going to go see our commitments, and I am, and then whoever else we're on. These next 2 weeks are very busy. So from Sunday all the way to the following Saturday, 13, 14 days, it'll be nonstop. Now for us, we've had a lot of our commitments already on visits, so we won't have as many, which is a little lighter load on the weekend. But all of our coaches will be out and about starting tomorrow, and it'll just be important that we do our part and reaffirm the commitments we have and try to get a few more if we can. And all those things matter, and you can't take anything for granted. We can coach as good as we want, but we got to continue to recruit the best players we can that are good people and want to be a part of it. So we'll work hard at it. So it'll be 2 weeks of that, and we'll probably what we've normally done is that not this upcoming Friday, but the next Friday is probably be the first bowl practice. So we give our guys almost 2 weeks off of doing anything football-wise. Now they'll start to go on the waiver a little bit and train, but we want them to get caught up on their schoolwork, concentrate on finals, and then probably like I said, 13 days from now will be the first practice. And even then, it's not going to be nonstop. It'll be practice a few days and off a few days, and we'll set the schedule based on when we know when we play and who we play.
More questions for Coach? All right, Coach, thank you.
Thanks,
You guys
Coach.
will have players next door.